When I reached for my spare keys, my daughter-in-law calmly said, "We changed the locks." For a moment, the winter air outside my son's Toronto home burned colder than the snow beneath my boots. I stood there, gloved hand frozen midair, wondering if I had heard her correctly. The porch light flickered, catching the look in her eyes, firm, unbothered, almost rehearsed. And that was the moment my heart cracked quietly inside my chest. I had come only to drop off a small bag of groceries. Nothing special, just fresh bread, some fruit, and the homemade chicken soup my son always loved as a boy. I wasn't trying to intrude. I wasn't trying to interfere. I just wanted to help a little because I knew they had been tired, juggling work, the baby, and life. But when she said those words, it felt like she was telling me something much bigger than just a change of locks. I swallowed hard. "Why?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She sighed as if she had been preparing for this moment. "We need space. You come by too often. It stresses us out, so please, call first. No surprises, no surprises." That phrase stung more than the icy wind cutting across my cheeks. I had been a single mother for most of my son's life. We survived tough years together. I worked double shifts at a grocery store in Mississauga, packed school lunches at midnight, and held him through fevers, heartbreaks, and every storm life threw at us. And now, here I was, standing outside his home like a stranger. I nodded slowly, trying not to let the tears fall. "Okay," I said, forcing a smile. "I understand." But inside, nothing felt understood. It felt like the ground had shifted under me. For the next week, I stayed quiet. I didn't call. I didn't visit. I busied myself with knitting, cleaning, rereading old recipe books, anything to quiet the ache in my chest. I told myself that maybe I was the problem, maybe I had clung too tightly to the only family I had. But at night, lying in bed in my small apartment, the silence felt heavier than usual. Then one afternoon, while I was leaving work, my phone rang. It was my son, and his voice sounded exhausted, shaky. "Mom, can you come over?" I hesitated. "Are you sure?" "Yes, please." Those words, "please, Mom," scrambled every doubt in my mind. I grabbed my coat and took the next bus to his house. When I reached the door, he opened it before I could knock. He looked worn out, dark circles under his eyes, shoulders weak, as if he had been carrying something heavy for too long. "Come in," he whispered. Inside, the house was a mess. Dishes piled up, toys everywhere, the baby crying in the next room. His wife sat on the couch, head in her hands, not even looking up. My son swallowed hard. "We're overwhelmed. We thought we could handle everything on our own. But we can't. And I'm sorry about the locks. It wasn't fair to you." His voice cracked on the last word. I walked toward him and placed my hand on his cheek like I used to when he was small. "You don't have to apologize, sweetheart. You just need help, and I'm here." His daughter-in-law finally lifted her head. Her eyes were red. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I've been stressed, overworked, tired, and I took it out on you. I didn't mean to push you away." In that moment, all the bitterness I had been carrying melted into something kinder. I sat beside her and took her hand gently. "We're family. Families stumble. Families misunderstand. But families also forgive." We spent the rest of the evening cleaning together, cooking, settling the baby, and talking honestly, maybe for the first time ever. There were tears, long pauses, and soft smiles. And as the house slowly returned to order, so did the feeling between us. Before I left, my son walked me to the door. "We made a copy of the new key for you," he said softly, placing it in my hand. "Just text before coming. Not because we don't want you here, but because we want to welcome you properly." I nodded, this time with real warmth spreading through my chest. As I walked home under the glow of the streetlights, the snow falling gently around me, I felt something shift inside. Not pain this time, but understanding. Families grow, change, pull apart, and come back together. Sometimes love means giving space. Sometimes it means stepping in. And sometimes it means waiting quietly until you're invited back. But no matter the distance, love finds its way home. And that night, holding the new key tightly in my coat pocket, I realized something important. being needed is beautiful, but being appreciated is even better. I went to sleep knowing that tomorrow would be different, not perfect, but better. And sometimes, better is enough.